Actually, I just concluded calls with
Good morning, my distinguished national chairman. Good morning, my distinguished national chairman.
Good morning, Engineer Ibrahim Bello.
How
Sorry.
are you?
How are you? How's the
How are you?
family? Happy
Fine. How was
World
the
Engineering Day.
Yeah, same to you, my chairman. How was the election in your area?
It was fine, but I don't know what happened to your state too.
Which one? Kaduna or Kogi?
Kaduna now, or is it Kogi? Which one do you want me to say now?
I'm from Kogi State, residing in Kaduna.
The election was a wonderful eye opener. Let me put it that way.
Honestly, it took a different dimension this year.
Yeah. Nigeria is set to be great, and they need us. So we have to be up and doing as engineers, contribute our quota to the.
That's very correct. That's very correct. Well done, my national chair.
Very much so.
Engineer Udeme Akpan.
Morning, my vice chairman. Morning, sir.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. How's the family?
We give God the glory.
So well done.
Where is my vice national chairman? I can't see him online yet. The chairman of the committee.
He said he's having network issues.
Because I can't find him here. So that we can start in good time. Oh, there is 7 minutes after. My national chairman, how many time do we have? So that when it's time we start. How much time do we have? Engineer, can you reach him on phone so that he can? Engineer,
yeah, my vice chair.
Yes, can you reach the committee chairman on phone? Let's know why he hasn't joined.
It's like he's having network issues.
Okay, network issues.
Okay. Maybe you may need to commence for him. Because
let him.
Good morning, all. I think he will soon join. I tried to reach him. He's having some network challenges, but he's trying to connect. My name is Ayo from Bakwairo.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer Ayo.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Alison, I don't, let me call. I send them a reminder in the platform. I don't know.
Hello. 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 Good morning. Can someone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
We can hear you. My God.
Connect.
Engineer Osak, we can hear you.
Technology don't give me kasala today. Okay, so we will be taking turns with the speakers for the day, well-known speakers in engineering. And okay, I'm the one speaking now. So yes, please can you give us, on the agenda is the opening process. We will take the national anthem and the NIMechE anthem. Thereafter, we will have an opening remark from the national chair. Please, as is normal, and for this meeting, we will observe the following ground rules. If you are not speaking, you will please mute your system until when you call upon to speak. And if you are not named correctly, you have to rename your system at this moment so that we can get your record for attendance. And as this meeting is recorded for quality purpose and for record at the National Secretariat. You are welcome. Yes, please can you play for us the national anthem and followed by the NIMechE anthem. Yes, are you okay?
Among all engineering, we are developing technology. Commitment, practice, and focus is a watchword. Mechanical engineering, very follow engineering. Always leading the field of progressive discovery. Together we shall build Nigeria. It's NIMechE among all engineering. We are developing technology. And practice and focus is a watchful mechanical engineering. The bedrock for all engineering. Always leading the field of progressive
Engineering, always leading in the field of discovery. Together we shall build Nigeria.
Thank you. Yes, the national anthem.
I've done that already.
Oh, you've done that already. Okay. All right.
Yes,
So
yes, I've done that.
okay. So team, thank you for attending this meeting once again. It's the World Engineering Day, and it's particular that our national chairman has give us her opening remark before we go on to invite the guest speakers for this important day in engineering. My national chairman, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and happy World Engineering Day to everyone on this platform this morning. I want to particularly appreciate our speakers that are already online. I know my past president of when has another meeting by 11:30, so she'll be the first speaker for this event. We want to say that the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers is an institution that is particular about the human capacity development of our members. We're particular about the professional development of our members, and we're particular about innovation and creativity of our members. I must say this, and I'm happy that Engineer Musbah Lawal, the chairman for the Student and Graduate Membership Forum, is on this platform. The students were able to come up with innovations last year in terms of WASH program. They were able to develop a disability inclusive sanitary system using additive manufacturing, which is one of the areas that we have concentrated on in the last 1 year to train our young ones in 3D manufacturing, 3D printing, and additive manufacturing. And so they were also able to develop another innovative idea, which is on disability inclusive pan, which was done by Oyewo Oyetola and his team. And then we had the student of University of Ibadan coming up with the disability inclusive latrine pan, which is tailored as the SDG goals for this year. So we want to appreciate all our young ones that are coming with different ideas in terms of development of engineering in Nigeria. Nigeria is about to go into another phase now. We have elected a president, we are electing governors. And so it's a clarion call to all engineers as we celebrate World Engineering Day to begin to come up with innovative ideas that can create solutions to the challenges that we have within our communities and within Nigeria as a whole. So on that very note, in order not to take our time, I welcome us to this World Engineering Day seminar that we have commenced this morning. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, my national chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, due respect to the national chairman, vice national chairman on this, I will be taking the citation of our first speaker. We have not given any order for the first speaker, but Madam, you mentioned the first speaker.
Engineer Noli because she has another another activity immediately after now.
Okay. So I'll be taking the citation of engineer Mrs. Noli Akwede. So she will speak to us thereafter. Okay, so engineer Mrs. Nolly Apedeye is a fellow of Nigerian Society of Engineers. She's also a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, professional project management, and she has a lot of other degrees and has had well over 36 years experience in the engineering, design and construction, project management, facility management, and industrial engineering. Currently, she's the Chief Executive Officer of two diverse organizations, the Contego Civil Limited, an engineering procurement, fabrication and installation company, and the Perfectus Laundry Limited, a major player in high-tech, specialized dry cleaning and laundry services. Engineer Ms. Nolly Apedeye is a graduate of civil engineering, and she holds also a master's degree in business administration. She's Korean registered, and like I said earlier on, she's a fellow of Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow of Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, the Project Management Institute Certified Project Manager Professional, and International Facility Management Association Certified Facility Management Professional. She's also an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators in the United Kingdom, a certified mediator and a member of the Institution of Directors. She is a past president of the Association of Professional Women in Engineers in Nigeria, and a passionate science, technology, engineering, and mathematics ambassador. In 2012, she launched and introduced a Girl to Engineering program for secondary school girls in Nigeria, which exposed girls to engineering solutions that enhance everyday life while providing STEM teachers training and parents counseling. At the NSC national level, she's currently the chairman, Nigerian Content Committee, and has previously served as chairman, Women in Engineering Committee, and chairman, Continuing Education Committee. She's a founding member of Women in Energy Network WEN. Engineer Ms. Nolly is also the Chief Operating Officer of Compos Mentis Legal Practitioners and the Chairman, Board of Trustees of Compos Mentis Foundation. In addition, she served as Director on the Board of Marine Logistics Company and Agriculture Investment and two real estate companies. Engineer Nolly Apedeye retired from Shell Nigeria in 2014 after a career spanning well over 2 decades, having made her mark in various positions as business planning manager, corporate asset engineering manager, project manager, facility manager, technical auditor, and senior construction engineer. She's a result-oriented and articulate analytical leader with a burning passion to motivate, coach, and mentor fellow engineers and young people aspiring to be engineers. To this end, she has mentored and sponsored several professionals, some of whom have attained senior leadership positions in both business and non-profit. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer Mrs. Nolly Apedeye to speak to us on this World Engineering Day. Yes, please, can you share a presentation? Go to slide 1, please.
Good morning.
So please, team, as I said earlier on, please, if you are not speaking, can you mute yourself?
Can we go to the first slide, please? Thank you. So good morning, distinguished engineers. The first slide, please. Or do you want me to take over managing the slides myself? The first slide, please. The cover. The cover slide, please. Thank you. I will share screen.
You can share it, yes. You can just share from your email. Yes, she will share.
Yes, I hope you've not muted her. You muted her, unmute her. Udeme, can you unmute her?
So let me start again then, since I've unmuted myself. Thank you. I'm starting by saying that I came to engineering intentionally. I intentionally decided to become an engineer. Firstly, because my father was an engineer and he was my hero and my role model. Secondly, because my dad always said that engineers are problem solvers. And I thought that is really an important career to be in. And I wanted to be important. So I wanted to be a problem solver and an engineer. Thirdly, even though I was a bit young at the time, my father was very instrumental and almost wholly responsible for transitioning Nigeria from black and white to color television. So engineering wasn't a mistake. And in my own life, personally and at work, I've seen many ways in which I have and I could be a problem solver and a game changer by applying my engineering skill sets. So I love being an engineer. I've been an engineer now for 37 years and I wouldn't change anything. So I just want to encourage all of us on the call, for those of us that are engineers, it's an awesome profession, but there's a lot we can do to make a difference in our community and our world when we apply the knowledge and skills we have as engineers. Now, let me give a level of understanding of what is going on in Nigeria. So yes, no offense to people that are in academia, but there's a way that the academic system in this country kind of kills intuition and creativity. And let's call it spade a spade. But I'm appealing to us as engineers. Whatever we can, through meditation, creative visualization, keying into the anointing from God, from the universe or wherever, let us go and look for that creativity. Because the only way we're going to survive and thrive and make lots of money as engineers is by activating and applying that our creativity and ingenuity as engineers to develop innovative products, processes, services that will help to solve our day-to-day problems. So let me just say a big thank you to my sister and the national chairman of NIMechE, Engineer Fumi Akinbabomo, for inviting me to speak today. It's an honor to be here today on this 4th anniversary of the World Engineering Day. We all know that the world is constantly evolving. Thank you. So we all know that the world is constantly evolving. And with each passing day, we are faced with new challenges: climate change, population growth, and the increasing demand for resources have put a real strain on our planet. And it is up to us as engineers to find innovative solutions to these challenges. I believe that the field of engineering is at the forefront of technological advancements that can shape a more resilient world. And with our vast knowledge of mechanics, materials, and systems, we have the potential to create solutions that can mitigate the impact of climate change, protect our infrastructure from natural disasters, and ensure the sustainability of our resources for a resilient world. Now, throughout my presentation, we're going to do a bit of trivia. In collaboration with my national chairman of NIMechE, we're going to be awarding on-the-spot gifts to people that answer different questions. So before I go to the first slide, let me remind you that I first talked about how we transitioned from black and white television into color TV. 2 questions. Who can tell us the year in which we transitioned from black and white to color? and tell us the first TV station in Nigeria that actually showed color television. So I will ask the ES to please be monitoring, and anybody that answers first, correct first answer, will be getting a gift from the national chairman. Thank you. So let me start with a few definitions. Engineering. I like the second definition better, the Wikipedia, because it talks about being creative. So nowadays, the latest vibe is that you have to be creative. All these people on Instagram and all that, you know, they are creatives of this life. In fact, if you're not a creative as a millennial, as a Gen Z, you have not even started. So we are the creatives. Let's take it back. We are the creatives. So engineering is the creative application of science and mathematical methods and empirical evidence to the, look at the highlighted one. Innovation. We innovate, we design, we construct, and we maintain. Let us not allow anybody to think that we are so nuts and bolts that we cannot be intuitive, we cannot be creative, because that is our that is the characteristic of engineering. We are creatives. Now, what is innovation? It's a new or changed entity. So people are always looking for something new. It's not always something new. You can make a modification or change something to realize or redistribute value. And this is an ISO 56,000 definition. Let's be mindful. So we don't always have to be making something new. We can make a tweak. We can change something. As long as we are realizing or distributing value, we are innovating. And resilience, which is part of the topic for today, is the ability to anticipate, resist, absorb, recover, and adapt to shocks and stresses in the system with agility. So we should be agile. For those of us that are project managers, we know about agile project management. So constant reiterations. When something happens, we are quick to adjust and to resist and adapt to enable continuity of delivering critical needs. You know, in engineering, we need to look at what are the needs. The good engineers, the successful ones, are the ones that create value by identifying where there's a need and providing solutions that take care of that need. So safety, food, energy, healthcare, these are major issues in this country and globally. So why do we need to innovate? Because we need to simplify, eliminate, reduce, or standardize for cost reduction, increased efficiency, or resilience. And why is this so important? Because now there's an increase in the probability of global shocks and disruptions. We were all here in 2019, 2020, when COVID struck. Honestly, for the first time in my life as an adult, I couldn't go to church at Easter. It's unheard of. As a Catholic, Easter is the most important feast for us in the calendar of Catholics. And even if you don't go to church like four times in that week, you will go to church on Easter Sunday. We couldn't go to church. We were here doing online mass because we had a pandemic. And it was unplanned, unexpected, and it just happened. Now we need to innovate because we need to build resilience into our system so that when things like that happen, global shocks and disruptions, whether they're environmental, economic, or pandemic, we're able to react, we're able to adapt, and also to address the evolving global challenges in a sustainable manner. And what again is sustainability? Meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So let's bear that in mind. Now, in 2021, UNESCO commissioned a global survey to figure out what the global challenges were. And I think they surveyed about 15,000 people across the world. And on the left-hand side there, you have what UNESCO determined to be the top 4 global challenges based on the outcome of the survey. So climate change and loss of biodiversity, violence and conflict. All these things, they make sense to us, don't they? Discrimination and inequality. I'm an engineer, a female engineer, so I get that. Lack of food. People have died in this country in recent months over the scarcity of naira, no inability to buy food. Water is a big problem, and sanitation till tomorrow, and housing. People are still living under the bridge in this Lagos. But let's look at other areas of focus for Nigeria, especially healthcare. The mortality rates for babies is high. People are dropping dead here because a lot of doctors have taken off for better greener pastures overseas. So even when you go to the hospital in Nigeria, the healthcare delivery is not where it used to be like 20 years ago. Energy is a major problem. We're looking at methodologies to provide affordable energy to people in rural areas and last mile communities. And education. Apologies again to those in academia, but education is not where it used to be, and it's not where we want it to be. That is why a lot of people are sending their children to school overseas. We need to do something about it. And then, of course, environmental protection. All these create opportunities for engineers to innovate, not just in Nigeria, but globally. But the key to success is resilience and sustainability. And if you remember, resilience, we said, is the ability to anticipate, resist, absorb, recover, and adapt to shocks and stresses in the system with agility. So when we're doing all these designs, new innovations, new creations, let us be mindful that we have to have resilience and sustainability as their bedrock. Okay, I want to show you something about how mechanical engineers are working with other engineers to actually create innovative solutions and impact lives. And it's the basic things that are important because we're still not where we need to be. Clean drinking water. Look at the pictures on the right-hand side. In this Nigeria till tomorrow, there are still people that are in the Xbox where they are drinking, defecating, washing from the same water body. I'm so happy that the national chairman talked about projects to do with WASH, that's health and sanitation, because we need to do more. We need to get to a point where potable water is available to every Nigerian, and people don't need to be washing and drinking and defecating from the same water body. Because UN tells us that 1 in 10 people lack access to safe drinking water even today, and poor water and sanitation conditions contribute to 80% of illnesses in developing countries like Nigeria. But I'm happy that we are creating all these mechanisms to eliminate contamination. And I'm also happy that going forward, we'll do even more. And I will tell you how we're going to do that. But let's look at some other ways in which we as engineers are creating innovations that impact lives. I love this one, clean cook stoves. And anybody that can tell me the kind of cook stove that is happening on the left-hand side, I'm sure the chairman, national chairman, will give you a gift. So keep it coming. The green cook stove, what kind of fuel does it use? The green one, because the other one is obvious, is solar. But the green one, what kind of fuel do you think it will be using? 3 billion people use solid fuels like wood, coal, charcoal, crop waste, and dung to cook and heat their homes. And 4.3 million people a year die prematurely from household air pollution. We need to eliminate this completely. But we are developing clean cook stoves that use alternative energy sources. So I'd like us to tell me what kind of fuel are we using in that green cook stove? Clean cook stoves significantly reduce smoke emissions, and it is said that it will save families cost up to 20%. And that would be awesome if we can do that. There are many innovation challenges, innovation competitions, and innovation prizes abound across the world for all kinds of entrepreneurs, and some are specifically for engineers. I want to give a big shout out to NIMechE, because every year you have an innovation competition amongst young engineers, but I want you to take it a bit further. And that's why I'm focusing on the RAE, Royal Academy of Engineering Africa Prize for Innovation. I also want to give a big shout out to our NSC, Nigerian Society of Engineers, and the Nigerian Academy of Engineering, because we do have ongoing annual innovation challenges and innovation competitions. But let's look at how RAE does it, and let's see whether we can borrow a leaf from them. So the Africa Prize for Innovation awards commercialization supports. it's not enough for us to have a competition, look at very creative and innovative new products and services, and then give a cash prize for them to go away. We need to commercialize the innovations. That's where the real difference will be made. We need to publicize, because even when we do this work, we're not publicizing. When we're doing research for this presentation, my PA told me that Astute has a team that is actually doing what RAE is doing. So they have an innovation challenge. They actually are partnering with the RAE to review and assess the innovative projects they get. And they do something to help to commercialize the products or services. But we need to take it further. We need to tell the story, and we need to help our people to develop scalable solutions to local challenges. I know it's a world engineering day, but let's bring it home because we're part of the world. There are so many challenges in Nigeria. You see them every day, everywhere. We as engineers should activate our creative juices and solve these problems. And then we as NSC, NIMechE should support these innovators to commercialize their inventions. So the RAE Africa Prize for Innovation offers a benefits package for up to 16 participants. And look at what they do. They assess the business and technical expertise and sector-specific engineering. They give them access to sector-specific engineering mentoring. They do press coverage. We need to publicize and communication support. They have an eight-month tailored training program. They give those innovators access to their network of high-profile engineers and business experts in the UK and Africa. Of course, they are judged and the prizes are showcased. And there's a prize money of £25,000 sterling. Last year, I happened to talk to a lady called Nora Magero. She's a mechanical engineer. Are we okay? So Nora Magero is a mechanical engineer from Kenya.
Please, for smooth presentation, if you're not speaking, can you mute your phone? Go ahead.
So Nora Magero is a mechanical engineer from Kenya. And I'm so proud of her because not only is she a mechanical engineer, she's a woman. And she won last year's Royal Academy of Engineering Africa Prize. She developed something called a Vaxi box. I know when I say, look at the problems around you and find solutions, Nora is a typical example of somebody that had experienced a problem and found a solution and commercialized the solution and making money from it. So she went to give birth to her child in her village in Kenya. And the distance from where she gave birth to that child to where the nearest health center was for the inoculations or vaccination of the child was so far that it cost her time and it cost her money to keep going back and forth to get the child the vaccine, the infant vaccinations that the child needed. And she said, well, in her situation, she was better than many others who actually couldn't even afford to move to the health center. So she thought, how can we bring these vaccines safely to people that needed them in rural areas, in last mile communities, where cold chain infrastructure is lacking? Another trivia question: what is cold chain? What is cold chain? And she did this to ensure that patients do not miss the opportunity to be completely immunized. So she solved her problem, solved the problem for many others. And when I was speaking to her last year, around August, she said to me that the RAE made good their promise. They gave her all the support she needed. And she had now created a company where she had 6 direct employees and about 20-something indirect employees, people that are providing services to her. She was making money. She was being showcased all over the world. In fact, she couldn't come for the Upwend conference last year because she had to go for an event somewhere in Italy and she just couldn't make it. So Nora Magero is just like any one of us. If she can do it, we can do it too. Another person that was a finalist in last year's RAE Africa Innovation Prize event was a person called Virtue Oboro. She's not even an engineer. She's an artist. But she worked with some engineers to develop something called crib aglow. What happened in Virtue's case is that she gave birth to a child, and the child was jaundiced at birth. And the cost and the effort to treat that child was so much, she thought to herself, how can we make this thing cheaper, more affordable, and more accessible to rural communities? So she developed, in conjunction with engineers like you and I, she developed something called crib aglow. Crib aglow can run on either grid or solar power using LED lights, and it actively monitors the level of bilirubin in the baby's body. The next trivia question is there. Bilirubin, what is it? Just make a guess. Don't go and check online or make a guess. It's quite obvious, the level of bilirubin in the baby's body. It is completely mobile, and it costs a 10%, the cost is 10% of the average phototherapy device used in developed countries. So bring it nearer to this year. To God be the glory. Out of the 15 shortlisted by RAE this year, we have 3 Nigerians. Chukwuemeka Eze is an electrical engineer. He developed a e-mobility service that converts gas-powered motorbikes to run on rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, which can also provide power to off-grid homes. Cletus Echo is a polymer engineer, and he's developed a waste-to-wealth enhancer. And Tolulope Olukoku is a mechatronics engineer. And I like his own because he has developed an electric 3-wheel cargo bike with a battery-powered fridge that assists small-time farmers to move their fresh produce to market, thus eliminating post-harvest loss. It's not that Nigeria cannot feed itself. Sometimes it's just a difficulty of moving the produce from where the farmers are to where the consumers are. So this is an awesome project. I will wish them all the best. But we're saying this is not rocket science, and we can do it and do it better. So my charge to NIMechE today is to please let us have some collaboration with RAE or whoever else worldwide and create our own Nigeria Innovation Prize that we will showcase the way RAE is showcasing South Africa, that we will use to help our young engineers that develop innovative projects, to take them to market, commercialize them, and encourage Nigerians to use. Because the astute experience is that, yes, they help the young people to commercialize their projects. But you know, this our Nigerian aversion to using made in Nigeria can cause a lot of problems for innovators in this country. So we have to lead by example. If somebody in our community of engineers has created an innovative project that we think is solving, that we know, not think, we have identified and we know is solving a problem that we have in Nigeria, let us be the ones that will use it first. Let us be the ones that will encourage people to use so that the commercialization stage will work and it will encourage more young people to innovate. Now, resilience requires a systems approach. And what do I mean by that? In the same way that we deliver digital transformation through assets, infrastructure, and systems, I think engineers must now apply the same problem-solving zeal to harness the full power of innovation and technology, data and analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc. And in this way, we as engineers can deliver resilient products, services, processes, and systems. So this is just a call for us to do what we do as engineers, use our systems thinking and systems approach to approach or to advance technology and to create innovations that will solve our everyday problems. Going forward, the world needs us as engineers to think beyond traditional solutions and come up with innovative ways to address the challenges we face every day. They are bound, and the solutions are in our heads. Let us activate our creativity, put pen to paper, develop new products and services to meet the challenges we face on a day-to-day basis. As engineers, we have a unique opportunity to contribute to a more resilient world by applying our skills, knowledge, and expertise to tackle these challenges head on. So let us embrace this opportunity and let us use our collective skills and work together to create a more sustainable, resilient, and prosperous world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. I was going to be forced to send you a chat that you have few minutes left, but looking at your presentation style, I knew you were going to end up about this time. So team, let's give another round of applause to engineer Mrs. Nolly Akpede for that wonderful presentation. If there's any key thing that I took out from her presentation, she's kept on saying resilience. And you can never be a retired engineer. So you all the time, once you step into that course and by intention, you have to remain till you keep on contributing. Thank you very much, and a wonderful presentation. Okay, so team, next, yes, left without allowing me to share screen again. Okay, so madam, we had a lot of people that sent in chat responses to the questions that was asked. Do we take them now, or we want to look at the end of the presentation?
Can we just state who the winners are so that then NIMechE chairman and I will just sort out the questions. Thank you.
So looking at the charts here, I have the first question was, when was the first where was the first television studio in Nigeria? Someone has mentioned NTA Lagos, engineer Temitayo.
Wrong. Olabi Gabriel has it. 1974 was the year. And Temitayo has Temitayo is Temitayo has PRTV, Plateau TV. That was the first station. So that's correct. So we have Olabi Gabriel and Temitayo. That is High Excellency. All right. And I think for the kind of fuel, we'll give it to charcoal, biomass. I think we'll give it to Richard for the biomass. It could be charcoal, but you would like it to be biomass, which is general, more general term. And then we'll give engineer Maro for, no, we'll give it to engineer Temitayo again. But it is true, cold chain system is the process for maintaining a product within a specified low temperature range from production to consumption. That's correct. And of course, the Billy Rubin, we won't give it to engineer Temitayo again, she has won twice. We are going to give it to Simon Jude. Yellow pigmentation. I think that was it. Did you get that? Yes.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
While we continue, I'll talk to the NIMechE. I'll talk to NIMechE. NIMechE national chairman, and we'll award the prizes just before we close. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matt, for that wonderful lesson. But I would just like to say that the competition that was held last year, the Innovation Challenge, the 3 that were selected, we are currently discussing with the Engineering Forum of Nigerians in the UK for the commercialization production of those designs that we chose from last year's project. So I would just like to say that we actually applied for the Royal Academy to see if they can give us the funding when the application opened, but we were not able to get that funding from them. So we have approached the engineering firms of Nigerians in the UK.
So we're currently working on how to commercialize the projects. Thank you very much. I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
So next we'll take the second presentation. In my own way of presentation, I would have loved to bring Engineer Richard in. But when at home you have a wife, you have a national chairman, who is a mother, and the first presenter is a woman, the engineer, Mrs. Sterling, and then you have another woman. So I will ask Richard, the best can also only be coming at the end. So let us at this point take the citation of engineer Dr. Mrs. Gwyneth Kingsley Omoyibo. She will be the next speaker. And okay, so a brief profile of engineer Mrs. Dr. Mrs. Gwyneth Adeswa Kingsley Omoyibo. She's a senior lecturer with the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the University of Ghana in the state, Nigeria. Presently, she's the acting head of state, or acting head of Department Mechanical Engineering, College of Engineering, University. She's the officer in charge of Industrial Academia Relations, the Directorate of Intellectual Property and Technology Transfer Office, IPTO, of the Benedict University of Ghana. She's a member of the board, National Office of Technology Acquisition and Promotions, NOTAP in Abuja. Technical education is key. That is one of the things that we cite. So Gwyneth has organized mentorship programs and sensitization workshops for girls to take up sciences in order to study technical education courses. Using Association for Professional Women Engineers in Nigeria, APWEN, BD chapter as a platform, Engineer Dr. Mrs. Gwyneth has encouraged girls in vocational lines such as organizing to further their education and give back to the society as educated organizers. Example is what Miss Becky Osahenwen Osage in Sapeleno University. Vocational trainings in plumbing, house wiring, solar installation, tiling in houses, and 3D wallpaper installation is ongoing. Technical schools such as Government Technical School, Technical Secondary School in Edo State is at starting point. A database of craftsmen, technologists, and technicians is also ongoing. Engineer Dr. Mrs. Gwyneth Kingsley Omoyibo belongs to professional bodies such as Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers, Nigerian Institution of Safety Engineers, Council for the Integration of Engineering in Nigeria, and also a corporate member of Association of Professional Engineers in Nigeria. As she's the chairman of the chapter of Malcolm, and she's happy to be married to Professor of Sociology with children. So at this point, we celebrate tonight and we invite you to take the turn in presenting. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me. I want to first of all thank the National Chairman, Engineer Funmi Akingbagbo, for giving me this privilege to be on this platform. And I also want to thank Engineer Onole Akpedeye. Thank you so much, Ma. I enjoyed your presentation. And I also want to thank every other person here on this platform right now. First of all, why is World Engineering Day celebrated? Since the year 2020, March 4th has been registered as World Engineering Day for a sustainable world by UNESCO, with the support of IESF, Ingénieurs et Scientifiques de France, and World Federation of Engineering Organization. It has been celebrated to pay tribute to an Indian engineer, Sir Moksha Gundam, Viewers Varaya, aka Sir MV. This is why it's been celebrated all this while. And then this year's topic is engineering innovations for a more resilient world. Slide 1, please. Slide 1. Now, we'll be looking into content, introduction, achievement of engineering, achievement of engineers, building resilient world, steps to take to build a resilient world, positive impact of modern engineering technology, redefining engineering culture, and then conclusion. Next slide, please. Now, for the introduction, engineering innovations are very numerous, and it's looked into areas of 5G network, mainstream blockchain app, machine learning for customer service, 3D printing, augmented realities. For the 5G network, the fifth generation mobile network, it's a new global wireless standard offer. It's been done after first 1G, 2G, 3G, and 4G network, and this has brought about a lot of changes as regards communication. For the mainstream blockchain apps, these are SMS, WhatsApp, Viber businesses, Instagram, Facebook, Google, app business chats, web chats, and all of that. And so these blockchain platforms such as IBM blockchain platform, which other one there now? Workbench, Ethereum, and all of them are part of the blockchain platforms. For machine learning, it's a branch of AI and focuses on building systems. And it focuses also on using data and algorithm to imitate the way human beings learn. And so engineering innovations has also brought about 3D printing. I'm very happy that our national chairman mentioned 3D printing. And in the area of 3D printing, we talk about additive manufacturing. It's additive, not subtractive. And so it helps to make 3D dimensional objects where we have limbs being made using 3D. Ear can be made through using 3D printing. And then the objects form a CAD model. Materials are deposited, solidified under computer control, and then we use them for prototypes. So 3D has come a long way to solve a lot of engineering problems. Augmented realities, where we have interactive experiences that combine computer-generated content with real-world experiences. It could be audio, it could be haptic, it could be somatosensory, and also olfactory. So it solves problems and foster solutions to see how things are being done properly. For edge computing, there is a range of network devices near the user, and this has to do with generating speed for edge computing, where IT expenses is being optimized. It improves on security, decreases cost, and enhances efficiency. For Internet of Things, you connect data, exchange data, and all of that. For AI, simulation of human intelligence. And so this will help to increase knowledge, globalization, improve on industrial work, which is in our industries, there'll be improvement, there'll be efficiency in transportation, there'll be access to food and healthcare, and socialization will be improved, and productivity will be improved, because engineering innovations will come to stay. And so next slide, we have achievements of engineering. Next slide, please. Achievements of engineering. Engineering have achieved a lot of things. Things have been done, incredible achievements in engineering, and some of which are artificial islands in Dubai. In United Arab Emirates, this achievement was done to expand UAE's coast and leverage on tourism. And this has brought a lot of foreign exchange to Dubai. Hong Kong International Airport at Cheklapkok opened in, I think, July 6th, 1998, has brought about a lot when it comes to airports, and it is the busiest airport in the world. It's a wonderful innovation that is worth seeing. The 412-meter twin tower of the World Trade Center is one of the achievements of engineering. Another very beautiful achievement is the Aswan High Dam, crossing the River Nile in southern Egypt, near the city of Aswan. I actually saw this when I went to Egypt, and it controls the annual flooding of the Nile River. This is a beautiful innovation and achievement of engineers. Another very laudable one is the seal share shape of the Opera House in Sydney, in Australia, the Hoover Dam in Colorado, the Empire State Building in New York, the Panama Canal built to ease traveling around the Southern America and the Atlantic. These achievements of engineering have brought about a lot of ease for human lives. The next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. All right, so engineers have done quite a lot. They have done innovations and inventions in areas of electrification, in automobiles, where we have electric cars and all of that, airplanes, the Boeing, water supply and distribution. We talked about WASH earlier, where consumption of water is being looked into very critically. There is a project which I am part of the grantee, Recirculate UK, Lancaster University. We talk about how water can be made available to all and in a very decent form, that people don't have to drink dirty water. Like Engineer Nole Akpedeye said, some people still drink dirty water. So we really need to do quite a lot to ensure that water is being sanitized, and then water supply and distribution is looked into very critically. Then the area of electronics, radio and television, agricultural mechanization, computers. These are some of the achievements of our engineers. Next slide, please. Building a resilient world. How do we build a resilient world? Now, resilience has to do with protecting our coastlines, has to do with strengthening our food security, has to do with forward planning, capacity to recover quickly from disruptions, capacity to be tough, and capacity to maintain ecological balance. Resilience in innovation will help us to do more and develop properly. And in the area of machine learning, we'll use machine learning to develop our risk map. We'll update the map to support proper urban development and then show areas of vulnerability to flooding and see how we can support municipality and make it much better. For the artificial intelligence, we capture images from drones, satellites to enable policymakers to prioritize interventions. AI has done a lot and can still do more if we look into that area. For cheap energy storage, we utilize, well utilized, will change our world, will help us to plan, and then LED light efficiency will help to replace incandescent bulbs and then save energy. Accessible solar power for renewable energy, like we showed some stove, which use the biomass. Renewable energy where we have the green technology, no more ozone layer and all of that. And so for carbon capture and storage, CCS, It will help to reduce greenhouse gases, like I earlier mentioned. And then when we use the carbon capture storage, it will make plastics not to degrade our environment, polyurethane plastics. Because plastics now, you see them in the seashores, they flow through flooding and then go to the seashores and then contaminate the rivers. And so people are into that now, trying to see how we can remove them from the seashores and the coastlines to see how they do not contaminate the rivers. For policymakers must take into consideration the need and importance of engineering for sustainable development. And so it should be inclusive where men, but women should look into all of this. Innovation in engineering is very necessary to better adopt and address today's global challenges and to achieve the SDG goals. And one of the SDG goals I like so much is goal 1, and that is no poverty. No one should be poor. There should be no excuse for poverty. So all the ideas you have, commercialize them, and then do something with it and make money. Engineering is essential for economic advancement and implementation of new technologies. Applying all this science will include basic need for food, health, housing, roads, transportation, water, energy, and management of the planet's resources. And so the engineer addresses human needs. When we address human needs, we alleviate poverty. When we address human needs, we promote security. We promote sustainable development. We reconstruct infrastructures, bridges, and then knowledge is brought in here to promote intercultural cooperation. Next slide, please. Steps to take. What are the steps we should take to bring about resilience? Now, first of all, to establish a strategic workforce planning function across government. How? For supply of key skills. What are these skills? We need these skills as problem solving. According to the first speaker, Engineer Unole Akpedeye, we need soft skills to be able to stay in there and do the right things. Problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, communication skills, negotiation skills. We need all of this to increase focus on innovation, to prioritize and incentivize education, and then training in these key skills to support economy. To establish a new STEM education strategy with large-scale funding across the whole of Africa and beyond Africa. Remember, we are talking about the world. And so when you talk about Africa, 54 countries of Africa, where Nigeria is one of them, we should use strategic workforce. In engineering, we have a lot of spheres. A lot have come in now where we have new areas like the biomedical engineering, mechatronics. They are all evolving now, aeronautics engineering. They were not here in Nigeria in our universities. They were in other universities in all climes. But now that they are here, let us use this strategic workforce to establish new STEM education strategies. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, to see how we introduce our boys as well as our girls to study engineering and make our world a better place. We also have to address the teacher shortage in sciences, physics teachers, chemistry teachers, mathematics teachers, further mathematics teachers, so that I'm looking into teacher professional development, so that when these teachers are well equipped, they'll be able to equip our children. And then engineers will STEM up. STEM careers, education, and advocacy should also be very strong in the area of STEM. STEM specialists should keep females in line. I talked about inclusion, so that if men are in STEM, women are in STEM, there will be a balance. And so maintaining commitment to uplift education funding. With Engineer only talked about Royal Academy of Engineering and funding, taking a strategic approach to investing on education on the wealth creating subjects, such as science, such as technology, engineering, and mathematics. And then apprenticeship, using apprenticeship, taking on apprentices and increasing amount paid to employers. When people are well paid and remunerated, they do better. So we have to do upskilling, reskilling existing workforce for engineers so that the residents will be built across board. Because when disruptions come, like the pandemic that came, we should be able to know what to do immediately and how to swing it to action to bring about solutions. Like we said before, and I'm reiterating, we are problem solvers. So as problem solvers, we could be futuristic, encouraging disadvantaged group into embracing apprenticeship, learn a skill, learn something. You know, if you learn a skill like plumbing, tiling and all of that to add to what you have, it's a plus. We have to invest in R&D, research and development. Our researches should not be kept on the shelves. They should be dusted and commercialized. Take up prototypes through to commercialization, deliver new products and services for wider socio-economic benefits. Can we go to the next slide, please? We have to boost socio-economic benefits, boost support for R&D, which is research and development, demonstrate all of these by using funding mechanism, joint ventures between government and industry. Here I am as the industry relations officer of my university. We go to industries to talk to them about how to bring them into the university as the knowledge house to solve their problems. What are your problems? How can we solve them? So we went to QTix PLC in collaboration with UNIZIC, with some professors and part of that team, to see how we can solve problems for QTix PLC, who is a wire and cables company. And then these companies said that their wires, the coating of these copper wires with the plastics and all of that is giving issues. And then money has been pumped into that to see how that problem can be solved. So strengthening existing infrastructure in public sector establishment and innovation hub is also very important. If you look at this diagram critically, you will see that the internet in Africa has progress and potentials. Share of population using internet from 2010 to 2020. And then you will see the red lines. You also see the blue lines, okay? And so the red lines are telling us that people did not have internet so much or did not do communication, information technology so much in 2010. But as of 2020 and downwards to 2023, we can see that the red lines have disappeared so much, having the blue lines, the very blue lines and the lighter blue lines, and then removing the reddish colors from the red lines, and then very little red lines are now on the map of Africa. So World Engineering Day is exposing us to see that a lot has been done in engineering. So kudos to engineers. I'm proud to be an engineer. Like engineer, Inole Akwede just said, engineering is a very beautiful profession. And she says she's proud to be an engineer. And I think I am also proud to be an engineer, because seeing that these red lines have all wiped off and giving us blue lines shows that engineers are really doing something. Next slide, please. And so this slide tells us that Global Innovation Index scores based level of economic development. So how developed have we become? You can see that the very dark blue lines, dark brown lines are the countries that have not really come up so well. But the other ones, so Nigeria is part of the ones that have come up so well as part of the Global Innovation Index. So we're doing well. We're trying to see how we join the other people in the world to see how innovation can be brought into limelight. Next slide, please. Now, for world 60 most innovative economies, all right? Now, For the first set, the very light colored blue, the very first here is South Korea. South Korea. The next there is Singapore. Next is Switzerland. Next is Germany. And the fifth one there is Sweden. I'm taking the first 5. So these are the first 5, which are the most innovative economies. We can join in. You can see Nigeria there doesn't have a blue line yet. We will get there. So we have to wake up to see how we can join in making the world a better place, bringing up innovations that will make us one of the most innovative economies. Next slide, please. Now, where we ought to be. For Nigeria, goods and services market, we should look into it to improve our economy. For digital marketplace, we should look into it to bring us to limelight. For transportation, infrastructure, and logistic market, looking into this can improve our economy. First of all, if you must be rich, or if you must zero off that no poverty SDG goal 1, you must solve a problem. And so there are a lot of problems in transportation, logistics. Try to solve that, try to do innovations around it so that we can cancel SDG goal 1. For smart medical and health services, and Jeon Loli talked about someone from Kenya who did something on that. And we can also key into that and see where we ought to be in this area for smart medical and health services. The next there is the drone technology for improving medical logistics. Let's look into that to see how we can bring about innovations. Drone technology for optimizing agricultural productivity, digital job platform to reduce labor market frictions, agriculture and crop insurance market, smart electricity infrastructure, tax collection and public service provision, and smart utilities provision. These are areas we should concentrate on to see how we can bring about our problem-solving skills into this to bring about innovations. Next slide, please. For positive impact of modern technology, engineering innovations, such as building a mind control prosthetics for the future using the 3D, like I said before, innovating earthquake detection systems, innovating pure sugary sweetness with no calories. These are innovations that have come up. These are wildest innovations that have come up since 2020. For a resilient world, innovation should be invested on to build resilience, to bring about regulations, using regulations to do all of this, to bring about renewables, renewable energy, to stop what we call climate change. And then we should use net zero from national infrastructure, incentivize uptake of off-site manufacturing to deliver goods, and then look into infrastructure, drive productivity, fund our research and development, and increase innovation budgets. Very important. Next slide, please. And so we have to redefine our engineering culture away from thinking about just making things to meeting needs sustainably. We must learn to meet our needs in a sustainable form. Technology has accelerated the process of change. And so technology has raised economic growth, whether we like it or not. Technology has lowered pollution environmentally. It was really bad, but it has lowered it now with the introduction of solar power and all of that. Advanced financial development, saved a lot of money, and then preserve our natural resources. We still need to do more on this, and then prevent environmental damage. Next slide, please. Next slide. So to redefine engineering culture, engineering innovations have no doubt helped to build more resilient world, to help us to, one, bring about smart building systems, robotics to ease hard jobs, cloud computing coming in to help to solve a lot of problems, energy sustainability to assess grid, retrofitting industries to adopt to clean technologies and environmentally friendly technologies. Next slide, please. So to conclude all of this, to mark this year's World Engineering Day, March 4th, 2023, let us make innovation a key component of public procurement process in order to bring best values for money to the public. And then IT, we have to target support group to see how we can provide and then develop our digital technologies. And then these digital technologies should be commercialized. And then we should also try to adopt them. Adopting them, not just adopting them, to use them to create jobs. Next slide, please. Engineers, we are very ethical in whatever we are doing. We are good negotiators. We have good soft skills, and that's what we're problem solvers. We are very innovative. We should hammer more on this to build a more resilient world for us. Naturally, we're curious, and because we're naturally curious, anything we do, we try to be very efficient and very entrepreneurial. We use our ideas to get more money, and then in doing that, we are resilient. And so, as engineers, we're solution-oriented. Engineers are resilient and ready for innovations that will produce a resilient world. I am proud to be an engineer. Thank you very much for listening to me, and happy World Engineering Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Mrs. Queenet. It has been a very wonderful presentation, and I also appreciate the lifestyle that you say engineering is what you be for life, and you are so much in love with engineering. And I believe by now your blood, if I should take a temperature of your body, everything about you will be more engineering. I really appreciate what you've done in the engineering world, and I wish you more of the likes in successes. Thank you for keeping to time and for that wonderful delivery.
Thank you, sir.
So we have a minute or so left in our time. One can make let me invite the national chairman if she has a minute or so. So to appreciate you the more before we invite the last speaker for the day. My national chairman.
Thank you very much, Engineer Usak FNSC. I want to sincerely appreciate Engineer Omoyibo for this wonderful lecture. It's an encouragement to us all as engineers to be able to work on innovative ideas, push them. That's why we have the professional bodies to be able to encourage our innovative ideas to commercialization stage. We want to say a big thank you to you. Before I move on to other things, I would like to recognize the presence of the former national chairman, Engineer Yofani Mokwe FNS NIMechE, who is on the platform. The Deputy National Chairman, Engineer Mohammed Al-Azan, NIMechE, who is also on the platform. Engineer Daniel Owolabi Nessi, who is also on the platform. I want to sincerely appreciate everyone that has taken our time to be here. And the immediate past chairman of Appoint Lagos chapter, Engineer Mrs. Laulu Adedapo Aishida, FNSC, who is also on the platform with us this afternoon. So thank you very much, everyone, and thank you especially our speakers for today for being here with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. Please, team, if you're not speaking, could you mute your phone? And we'll be taking the last presentation for today. It's the World Engineering Day. When I talk about the mindset of an engineer, there's a word I like so much: recalibrating our mind at every point in time. So an engineer solves the problem by looking at everything and thinking, what else can happen? What is the way forward? And I like one word from engineer Mrs. Queenet: we need to make money. We need to, nobody should be poor. And the opportunities are there for us to take on as engineers. So thank you once again. Our next presentation is going to be taken by Engineer Richard Oyadino. He's a fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. I'll be taking his citation now. Thereafter, he will go on and make his presentation. So Engineer Richard Doyodino, FNSC, is an highly experienced and skilled engineer. He has a span of over 2 decades of experience in the information and communication technology, ICT industry. He has a passion for using technology to solve real-world problems. He has built a successful IT company that has been providing innovative solutions to banking, fintech, real estate, education, and telecoms industries for many years. His expertise lies in a wide range of technology areas, including IT networking, infrastructure engineering, cloud solution architecture, and artificial intelligence. Throughout his career, he has designed and implemented complex IT systems that have greatly improved the operations of his company, resulting in increased efficiency and profitability, money making. He finished from the Faculty of Technology in the University of Ibadan and has attained industry-focused certifications for ITL version 4 Foundation. He's a Cisco Certified Network Associate, Microsoft Azure Fundamentals, and the Amazon Web Service Certified Cloud Practitioner.
Thank you for having me. Oh, wow. I'd like to appreciate the distinguished chairman for hosting us today, Engineer Mrs. Olufunlade Akibabong. Thank you for having us. And the co-speakers, they've done an extremely wonderful job in which they've shared insights and also make us to think as engineers. I really, really like that. I'd like to appreciate Engineer Mrs. Noli Akwede and also Engineer Dr. Quinette Omo Ibo. All right, you've already touched on a lot of things that I'm going to speak on. So let me quickly share my screen now. Yeah. So that you can follow. Okay. Yes, can you all see my screen? Just acknowledge in the chat that you're fine.
Yes, sir.
Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes, yes, we can see.
I needed that confirmation. All right. So yeah, I'm going to touch on quite a number of stuff that's already been shared. And this is going to give you another insight because where I'm coming from is in the field, practical field. So let's dive straight into it. Engineering innovation for a more resilient world. What I'll be talking about, which has been shared already, is the role of engineers in creating solutions to global challenges. They mentioned a bit of that. Then I'll also talk about the importance of innovation in engineering. The impact it has had using engineering innovation on society, the challenges of designing for resilience. Now, this is key. We've touched on it, but I'll give you another insight on the approach that we're going to go about this. Then we look at the examples which has been shared numerously or severally for engineering innovation for a more resilient world. And the one that excites me the most is the future of engineering innovation. And then we can talk about the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration. Now, this is the time to be excited about being an engineer. You know why I said so? Let's go into it. The role of engineers in creating solutions for global challenges. We're just going to look at this for the sake of time, just 3 points. Look at the climate change that we've had. Look at the natural disasters. Then also look at the pandemic. We've had certain experiences having these 3. So for climate change, we have to deal with this kind of stuff. Engineers are developing, implementing a range of solutions to reduce greenhouse gas emission. They've already touched on that, and make it to have increased energy efficiency. For example, They are designing renewable energy systems such as wind and solar power and developing energy efficient buildings and transportation systems. Wind and solar, a lot of us are already taking the solar technology big now. We are using it for cities. We are using it to power our homes. We are using it for virtually everything here. That's because, yes, we have this in natural abundance, and the world, we can tap into this energy and start having that significant energy usage footprint that we are having in the world. Wind, we are cultivating that wind in a very, very good way. We have the solar, wind, gas turbine, all those stuff we are using to be able to mitigate all this climate change that we're experiencing. Let's look at also natural disasters. Natural disaster, if you look at earthquake that just happened in Egypt, was it Egypt? Turkey, yeah. Turkey, we had a magnitude of 5.8, and in the following week, we had another magnitude of 6.8. That's the impact of that earthquake whenever it happens. We had that during this period, and buildings were collapsing. Lives were lost. People were in distress. How do they handle it? Our own may not be natural disaster if we bring it home. We had a flooding resulting from a neighboring country just opening up a dam or something, and the water flooded everywhere. We have to deal with these issues. We could have rain. We've had rains that we have massive landslide all over. We have to deal with this as engineers. So engineers are developing early warning systems and emergency response technology that can help minimize the impact of disasters and save lives. So that's our role as engineers. We are trying to measure the impact it's going to have, create solutions to mitigate it, and also save lives. Then the one that happened took everybody by storm, at least in my lifetime. I experienced the pandemic. Of course, we've had issues. We had Ebola, bird flu. We've had them like that, but not in the magnitude as the coronavirus was. That was a game changer. Like the first speaker spoke, she couldn't attend church. It affected her life. And we could share this, how I was locked down for 2 weeks, and mental health that was behind the scene before has risen to an all-time high. Why? Because people have not dealt with these things before, and particular attention has now been drawn to it. What happened? Pandemic. Everywhere was locked down. You cannot talk. You cannot go out without using a PPE equipment. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. It just changed our livelihood. And we have to come back and now start developing solutions to it. So ventilators were deployed to stop severe respiratory illnesses. We have to have our PPE, cover your nose, face masks. Some were even innovative, creating them locally. So we have all these things that we have to deal with, and it changes how we perceive the world, how we are going. So in short, engineers are critical in designing solutions to address the world's most pressing problems. Through their expertise and innovation, they are helping to create a more resilient and sustainable world for all. So let's look at the importance of this innovation. And they've touched on it already, and I'll just glide over this. Why is it important? To design, we normally design tailored solutions. It has also revolutionized industries, and also it has helped us to create new and creative solutions. In the tailored design solution, if we have earthquake, we are building buildings that are resilient, that can stand the test of time, you understand, and be able to absorb the impact of this earthquake. If it's flooding, how do we have buildings that can be raised and not allow water to pass through? Or we have irrigation or drainage systems that within a very short while, even in heavy downpour, all the water will be gone. They are designing these solutions, and they are by industry tailored to each industry. Let's look at entertainment industry, for instance, which I play a big role in. When we were growing up, we had a track record for some of you that are advanced in age. But for the new guys, let me describe it a little bit. Our parents had this huge circular record, and they put it on a plate which has a pin, and you can place the pin on the point where the music is played. It can contain about 8 tracks. Then you move to compact disc. So even in that compact disc, you can see that we could get about 700 megabits worth of music. Then you move to DVD. It can take a lot more, to 4.2 gig. Now we have one of the best devices that have been invented, which is the mobile phone, smartphones. They can house over 100,000 music, videos, and stuff inside that small device. Kindly mute. It's causing a bit of guys that just joined.
My friend.
Sorry, I might have to do that myself. Yeah, if you can hear me, just kindly mute. It's distracting. All right. It also revolutionized industry, which I just mentioned. Can the coordinator help out here? Ibrahim Bello? Yeah, yeah. Somebody has to go in and actually mute.
Where is his mother? Why you know say I'm never the job?
Please, can you mute if you're not speaking? Can you mute? Mute if you're not speaking.
Hi, like no be small on the outside. Like.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Just let me get that. It's a bit distracting. All right, I think I'm clear with that. Okay, so this I was mentioning about the innovation of the entertainment industry, where we move from 8-track to
Losa, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. To CD, to DVD, now to a smart home device that has huge storage that you can carry a whole lot of information in it, and it changes. Let's also talk about the internet. Internet and our telecommunication was something huge way back then. For those of you that they are not advanced in age, the Gen Zs that are on this stuff, what we had then was a box that is like a tabletop, and it has all this round circular dial on top of it that you have to dial each number to be able to get. That changed into also a button that you can press each figure on the mobile phone. I mean, no, on this desktop phone. You can't carry those ones out because they are fixed and they are connected to a wired line. Then that moved again. It moved into where we have the satellite phone. Satellite phone, you could move them around. Then you had some that within a few feet, you can also talk while the major device is still sitting in your house. You understand? Then it moved totally to the GSM technology, and now the smartphone. It has changed and revolutionized an entire industry of how to be able to get that, solution, what we had then and what we have now is different. Now, you have to go to NITEL. We had the NITEL way back then that you had to go and get a wired phone. You have to connect it to your house. You have to run a cable from your house. So in terms of infrastructure, it was a pain in the ass. Pardon my French. So what we had then and what we have now, you can just go walk up to a store, buy a phone, put a SIM card into it, register with the NIN and stuff, and get your mobile up and running in a jiffy. So the evolution has changed. That is what technology does. Then also, we look at new creative solutions. As our needs and challenges change, so must our solutions. Engineers must constantly seek our new and creative solutions to address emerging challenges such as climate change, renewable energy, and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is blowing everything away. What I mean that is 1/3 of this presentation I'm giving you was generated by artificial intelligence. By me keying in a parameter. I don't have to be an expert in the subject matter to be able to deliver a top-class information. That is how good this artificial intelligence. And if you think it is very good now, it's going to be 10 times better in the future, 100 times better. So it is even in the worst of its phase right now. But you can see the impact already. So innovation is essential in engineering as it enables engineers to design tailored solutions, revolutionize industries, and keep up with changing demands and avoid costly mistakes. Now we have huge data. That data helps us to address all those mistakes that we must have made. So if somebody, if you're in business, there's something called business continuity. Now in that business continuity, what you will have is if somebody is not available, somebody can pick up the standard operating procedure and make sure he can follow through the guidelines and be able to continue with the work. Same things engineering have to adopt this practice. And I think we've been doing great over the years. Now we're going to double down on that. So engineers are constantly seeking new and creative solutions to solve these problems rather than relying on outdated and ineffective methods in order to drive progress and create a better future for all. Yeah. So what is the impact of engineering innovation on society? They've touched on this already. What it helps us to do is it helps us to increase safety. Safety is so nice and it's been adopted by technology, it's been adopted by engineering. There's one mantra that they say that if it cannot be done safely, don't even venture into it at all. What can never be done safely, don't even go there. They will not approve it. It has helped us with better healthcare. During that pandemic, oh my goodness, what we experienced was a culture shock to everybody. It has not happened, at least in our own lifetime. And people have to now adapt. You have to do testing at every airport you go through, where they have to stick something into your nose. Very uncomfortable. But what it helps us to do is to render better healthcare so the spread doesn't get worse than it was already is. How does it improve lifestyle? I've deployed technology in people's homes and offices that it just improves their lifestyle. Imagine this, you're coming into your house and from your phone, you can put on the shower or the heater for the shower, you can turn on the AC, you can also put your favorite music, turn the lights into a relaxing atmosphere, even before you get home. By the time you get home, instead of coming down to open your gate, you press the remote control, it opens you. Imagine you're coming from a very stressful day and you're having all these things done automatically for you. It's going to improve your lifestyle. In fact, when you get home, you can kick back, turn on the TV, it queues up all your favorite music or your movies, and it just gets you and helps you de-stress. It's going to improve your lifestyle. You understand? And also, it helps to increase productivity and efficiency. All these things are happening now. There used to be things we used to think about way back, but it is happening now, and they are real. So engineering innovation has had a profound positive impact on society, leading to increased safety, better healthcare, improved quality of life, and increased productivity and efficiency. So by continuing to innovate and develop new technologies, engineers can help to solve some of the world's most pressing challenges and create a better future for us all. So what are the challenges of designing for resilience? Now, this one is pretty, I face this a lot, and working with innovative guys, engineers, it taught me a lot here. You have to, whatever you are designing for resilience, you have to balance cost and resilience. This cost issue helps you put a peg on what you are capable of. As an engineer, you don't have a blank check to design the cost-effective solution and be able to maximize. So there are some nice to have. I would like to have a Porsche with 4 wheels that can turn, have all my people behind me and be moving. But when they say that is an additional cost of this, so do away with this. We have to balance costs. So that is a big issue we have to face. Then also we have to consider multiple hazards. There are so many hazards lined up, either from a byproduct of the innovation that we have implemented or what we are going to implement. They say, oh, we are going to have a good side and also not so good side. Now, if the not go good side affects the good side to a greater proportion, they will do away with it. So in terms of hazard, you have to consider that as a factor. Of course, ensuring efficiency and functionality, that is key. Then addressing trade-off. This is something I struggled with in the field. Now, what I mean by trade-off is a customer or your client, as an engineer, you're designing a solution for, wants the best of brief. I mean, he's going to give you a brief. I want this, I want that, I want this, 5-star, iconic, everything. And by the time they present their budgets, you can't do 1/4 of what the person is quoting for. So that's a challenge engineers must learn. And the last speaker touched on this. You have to learn how to do your negotiation. So trade-off as an engineer is something you have to consider whenever you are doing your design. You have to let some things go. Remove this, add this. Oh, this is too expensive. Remove this. Like what we have now, we have a product that they just discovered recently in the North, Californium, and that stuff is used for satellites. Elon Musk is sending space shuttles to the satellites, reusable ones. He's sending them, and he needs this particular item, and he's here in Nigeria. So God has really blessed us. And what we are saying is that those materials, if you look at the cost, you also look at, oh, what has been paid before? How are we going to have cost savings? If you're working in any corporate organization, or this is something you have to struggle with. So you have to learn how to do the trade-off and still give the solution the way they want it. Continuous feedback. You must have continuous feedback. Gone are the days where engineers will design solution and say, go and read the manual. We're fond of that. Go, have you read the manual? That's the first thing they will say. But now, no. It's the customer's feedback that is going to be a vital part of your design phase. So you have to pay attention to that. Apple, we all know the iPhone. When they do their design, they give it to a 5-year-old kid to be able to use it. If the 5-year-old kid struggles with a particular design, they go back to the drawing boards. You understand? And go and redesign the stuff. Why? Because the younger one, the ease of use, let me put it that way, the ease of use is key in any engineering design that we are doing now. So it must not be complex. The customers must be able to use it easily. And when they bring it back with feedback, you improve your product. And that's why you always have spare parts. That's why you say, oh, they call back a particular automobile for failing in particular stuff after registering some data. So it's key in your design. So let's look at the examples of engineering innovations for a more resilient world. Smart cities all over. I particularly love the smart cities by what it can do. Of course, you have to lace it with security. You can come home, everything opens for you, everything closes for you. You can even program how you want it. If you are not around, you go away and you come back. Everything, people will think you are still at home while you are not there. Smart cities, they are looking at transportation, how to move hundreds of people, fast train. They are developing all those stuff based on the population, and they are developing all those technology to be able to function in this city. So think of it, transportation, medical, think of it, moving around, population, diet, they focus on all this technology to be able to give people residing in this smart city to be able to function. There's one they are building in Dubai now that is very long across the desert, all smart city. There's another one in Singapore also. They are building where you commute. There's also, I think someone mentioned it, there's a floating city. All these things are smart city, and engineers are in the corner. They're in the top front. Renewable engineering systems, can't overemphasize that. That is what we're doing, so that we can reduce the carbon emission because it's affecting our, what do you call it now, atmosphere. So another one that has been a struggle, but there is a lot of improvement, is disaster resistant structures. Now, we had earthquake in Turkey. Buildings were collapsing. If you see it online, you'll be devastated by what it looked like. But there are some structures that can withstand it, and they're improving on this stuff day by day. I also talk about the modular construction. I've witnessed this one. Now, I worked in the real estate some decades ago, and I met with an engineer from the United States, and the guy told me they could build 300 homes in 1 month. I was like, wow, that was way back then. 300 homes, that would solve Nigeria's big problem. But it comes with a cost implication. But the thing is so fast. All the design has been done in the lab or in their manufacturing, and they just bring it to site and start uploading. Within few hours, I'm telling you, a whole building is up and it's ready. So they were able to do that. That was almost 10, 15 years ago. So you can imagine how that technology has improved even until now. So that is how we are looking at modular construction. I've even seen a data center that they built, prefabricated from the lab. They're just arranging it, and before you know it, the speed is done, the products that they use, lighter, stronger, better. So technology is at the forefront. Biodegradable materials. We've talked about biomass earlier. So these are examples of innovations that will help us with a more resilient world. Now, this is where I get so excited being an engineer. This is the best time to be an engineer, I tell you. The future of engineering innovation. The engineering and the advancement we've had up till today, is the worst it can get. It's going to get better. 10 times, 100 times. So you should be excited that you're at the forefront of all this innovation. Artificial intelligence is mind-blowing. It's changing how Google is going to be checking stuff. It's bringing healthy rivalry into a lot of stuff. Things are being automated. Artificial intelligence is the next thing. Advanced materials, lighter, better, stronger. Think of those materials. They are done within the lab and they are fabricated. We are having that. Sustainable design practices. Now, we can't overemphasize this. You must be able to do a design that is practical and sustainable. If you do a solution, maybe based on time, that will only cater for what is needed now, that design will die a natural death. And we have seen technologies that were fantastic at that time and got into this space and they are reduced. Let's look at autonomous systems. Picture yourself in a car, put in your coordinates where you are going, and the car will drive itself to that location. Way back, it was a dream, but now the reality is here. Autonomous systems, building stuff. So the pace at which things will be done will be faster and less stressful. It doesn't take away the role of engineers, so don't be scared about that. Biotechnology, we have fruits. The first time I ate an apple that didn't have seed in it. I was really impressed. I said, how did they do this? Biotechnology. They have seeds that are genetically engineered so that it will not have seed. Beautiful technology. So the future of engineering innovation is likely to be characterized by the use of AI. So start learning a little bit of AI. It's doing marvelous stuff. Advanced materials, sustainable design practices, autonomous systems, and biotechnology. These developments have the potential to contribute to a more resilient world. As engineers, continue to seek innovative solutions to the world's most pressing problems. By staying at the forefront of this development, engineers can help to create a safer, more sustainable, and more resilient future for all. Now, this is the one I had to learn on the job. We were not taught when we were growing up. You have to learn how to coordinate and collaborate with people different. I am telling you, this is a big icing on the cake. And a lot of us have not been trained for this. So you have to start learning those soft skills, those negotiation. I think the last speaker listed all of them out because I had to learn this during my time as a career. Let me give you an example. If you are designing a sustainable energy system in a beautiful environment and stuff like that, you will consider a lot of factors. Who are the people that you are going to talk to? You have to collaborate with environmental scientists. You have to collaborate with policy makers and urban and regional planners. Let me give you an example. In an environment that you want to give a solution of renewable energy, they have a blueprint, a carbon print that has been reduced in a different environment in our environment. If we bring it home and our policymakers look at it, they will say, oh, yes, it is permissible in this country, but in the other country, it's not permissible. Meanwhile, you are designing from here locally. So you can see, then you have to also work with the urban and regional planners. Okay, this is your renewable, how many people is it going to serve? What are the social impacts? What will it do? I mean, stuff like that. So you have to now collaborate with experts in those fields. Meanwhile, you are the engineer, you are the one that just design beautiful, fantastic, functional systems, but you have to take into consideration and collaborate with these experts. If you are designing infrastructure to withstand natural disaster, you don't just go, oh, the strength of material, if we bring this, nah, yes, that will be done, no doubt. But also, who are the collaborators? The meteorologists, the sociologists, the economists. Now, this meteorologist will tell you, oh, in this part of the world, from history and the impacts that we've had from the data, we have earthquake of magnitude 7.8. Will you design a building structure, a material that is 5.5? You failed already because they are telling you this is the permissible allowance that you need to do, and you design bigger. The sociologists, which we used to think they are far away, they are the ones that will determine the social impact. They are the ones that will determine the economics implication of all these things. And we don't just push them aside. So you have to work with them. Then the economists say, is it cost effective? They are on a budget. They don't have a blank check. They are on a budget. So you have to work within all this information that you have fed back and forth. If you are in innovation, this is something, a practice that we must fortify ourselves with. You understand? So interdisciplinary collaboration is crucial for the success of engineering innovation for a more resilient world. Engineers must work with experts in other fields to understand the complex social, economic, and environmental factors that affect the design and implementation of engineering solutions. By embracing interdisciplinary collaboration, engineers can create more comprehensive, effective, and sustainable solutions to the world's most pressing challenges. In summary, engineering innovation is vital in creating a more resilient world. With the growing challenges posed by climate change, natural disaster, and other shocks, engineering innovation plays a crucial role in developing systems and infrastructure that can adapt and withstand such challenges. Moreover, engineering innovation has the potential to bring about significant positive impact on society, including improving access to critical resources such as clean water, energy, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions and creating new jobs. In conclusion, this is the best time to be an engineer. This is the time to dust off and say, what solution do I have to solve real world problems? And I know that we have the brains, we have the talents that can take it outside. from Nigeria to the world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of my presentation, and I wish you happy Engineering Innovation Day.
Thank you very much, Engineer Richard Oyodino, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. I couldn't have been much better. One of the things that I like about IT.
Yeah, I'm with you. Go on.
At the time the IT expert was speaking, we had some of the network issues that came up. So that is, and maybe we were not listening, and maybe we were not taking cognitive notice of that. Okay, so thank you very much. We really appreciate your time out, and then the way you made the presentation very better. Innovation is key. Resilience has to come up in that. And like I said, every time an engineer has to recalibrate his mind, his brain, there are a lot of options out there. So it's not, maybe not one solution can match all, but we can bring a lot. When we talk about the smart homes, it is one key aspect of life that interests me. And I was talking to one local around my community. The man said he cannot bring this automatic operated gate. That one day you will come back and you press the key, open. That is where you sleep till daybreak. Because some network can just go off like ATM or POS. So at the time you try to open your gate, it says, "Oh, guy, you will stay outside till daybreak." But that's so wonderful. Smart home is a good way forward. Smart engineering, IT, artificial intelligence, that aspect of creating presentation without having to be a very good expert or specialist on that. So team, we are gradually winding up. It has been very fantastic World Engineering Day in 2023. I have seen the hand of Engineer Maru. Did you want to contribute, or you raised your hand a long time ago? Because before we make this today's program to an end, I cannot see a former national chairman in our meeting, and he will not have a word to us. So let me at this point invite the
I wanted to contribute.
Okay, yeah. So let me invite first the former national chairman of Nigeria Institution of Mechanical Engineers, Engineer Fanny Mokum, FNSC, NIMechE, to have a word to us on this important day in the life of an engineer, World Engineering Day. My former national chairman, sir, you have a moment to speak to us. Yeah, I hope he has not left the, is he speaking? Okay, so Engineer Maru, okay. Engineer Maru, you have the floor.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, let me first of all appreciate all the presenters. Yeah, this topic, as it is timely and very necessary as we celebrate this World Engineering Day. So, quick one. Yeah, my major concern is on the area of innovation, particularly as it obtained here in Nigeria. I think in that regard, judging by the presentation that was made by one of the presenters, when he was showing us the world's most innovative countries, and we see that Nigeria was nowhere to be found. So I want to suggest that in this line, we need to push the government a situation whereby we have a ministry for specifically meant for innovation and technological development. Yeah, because we need to move with the world, and that we must hold that particular area, sacrosanct. So we need to have a ministry specifically for that, for us to catch up with the entire world. Then secondly, talking about climate change, so many innovations resulting from engineering, across the world. Somebody made mention of the Twin Tower that was constructed great. Some areas, engineers need to, go into sea and then build structure in terms of land reclamation and all that. All of that is being done around the world. But are we thinking about the implication of all of that as engineers, where it affects other nations, you know? So I think we need to look in that direction. Then basically coming to coastal erosion, which has affected us in the Niger Delta specifically. You know, annually we see communities being displaced in the Niger Delta. Annually, communities are being displaced and people are losing their homes. And then, you know, in an attempt to look for other areas to go and stay, there is conflict everywhere. Because when you are displaced, you need to go somewhere else to go and settle. And when you go to somewhere else to go and settle, you are meeting other people there, and the conflict are resulting. So I think engineers, instead of thinking of how to, when the problem comes, what are we doing to prevent such occurrences in terms of coastal erosion? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Maro. Teresi, I think you've made a valid point. I still don't know if the speakers are able to pick this. Engineer Richard, you want to give a response to it, or you want us to?
I will respond to that.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Engineer Richard spoke about multidisciplinary approach to solving problems and making us resilient engineers. So for flood issues, so flood related issues, I think addressing it through the multidisciplinary approach should just be apt at this point. The civil engineers will come in, the geographers will come in, the marine engineers will come in, even IT experts will come in, the sociologists will come in, even medical doctors will come in, and so many other, professionals will come to play and then come to the table. Social workers will come in. Those are people that are going to go around the community knowing what is going on, and then record those things and then be able to know what next to do. Even economists will come in. So by the time this multidisciplinary research is being done concerning flooding, I think bringing it to the table and to the drawing board, then there will not be a solution profiled to it, and then steps to be taken to solve this problem will now be brought about by these same think tank that have come together. Because it won't just be just engineers who are civil engineers, water engineers that will be able to do that. All of these people I've mentioned earlier will come together to see how this problem can be solved. I think that's what's happening in other climes. I just came back from Botswana, and Botswana is a landlocked country where there are rivers all around, and so they experience flood from every now and then. I stayed at a place called Palapie. In Palapie, they have multidisciplinary experts that have been set up by Republic of Botswana government, where about 66 people are on the flooding issue. And so every time the coastlines are overflooded, they see what to do. And now as we speak, they don't have such problems again. Yes, very simple. They don't have such problems again because they have been able to itemize what the problem is and then face it in a multidisciplinary way, and then the problems are gradually eroding. And so if we do that in Nigeria, it will go a long way to solve our flooding problems. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. So, like it has been said, we had a governor sometime in Akwa Ibom who said, what money cannot solve, more money can solve. So what an engineer cannot solve, more engineers can solve, or more team that are constituted together can actually look at it. But for the government of Nigeria, it will be foolhardy for us to be political about certain issues. I remember there was the Science and Technology Ministry created, and a lot about research development and the rest was to rest on them. I wonder what we are actually getting as a result of such ministry. So yes, a ministry should be set aside for us to have this research and development and to think tank on developing and solving the issues that we have in Nigeria. But if it is not working, last week Saturday, we had an election where we elected our president. And we've actually been saying again and again, engineers need to go into politics so we can be both the policymakers and the executors of these policies. Maybe with time, this will certainly go on, and we will be having this expectation. But what a day, World Engineering Day, very exciting, very innovative, very concise in telling us engineers we need to wake up and achieve this result. If it has happened in other countries, there's nothing stopping us from having it in Nigeria, and we can have that replica waiting on artificial intelligence and all the good that came from this presentation today. We'll be looking forward to having this kind of presentation again and again. And at the last meeting, the webinar for the month of February, we did say that every chapter should have the chairman, the vice, the secretary, publicity secretary, and technical secretary in attendance at these meetings. Hoping that the former national chairman are on board. Please, if Engineer Sedomi, our chief, is around, you have a moment to speak to us before we invite the deputy national chairman to give us a closing remark. Is any of the former national chairman?
Yes, okay,
I'm
around.
ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
All right, sir.
I greet
yes,
everybody.
Hold on, sir.
I thought I would be allowed to just come. I've heard so much. I really people who have earlier spoken, and my comment actually is that this engineering innovation is what is expected to emanate from the Ministry of Science and Technology. The reports of the minister or the PAMSEC or some directors in that ministry who I know are our colleagues, professional colleagues, so that they will be able to put head together, form a professional team. They must have this department as initially as a department or a directorate in their ministry. And from there, things they can then be advising government. If we in the profession should do this on our own, it will just be like an academic exercise. Although it's happening in every part of the world, and I will not be surprised that some directors or some big men in the Ministry of Science and Technology will be going for seminars like this abroad, and they will come back, and that's the end of it. So it should go beyond the professionals. Our own body, we are a professional body, we are multidisciplined, and we have been able to break into this engineering, world engineering, and then whatever we are doing, I want to appeal, let's put pen to paper, write a good report about it, and send it to the ministry. If we do that, they will be able to be part of us in future, not in the immediate, because the way the ministries are structured change overnight. But with time, change will catch up with them, and then Nigeria will be part of the whole world. Thank you very much. I thank everybody for the opportunity given me to speak. I thank you. Thank you, Engineer Ekereke Tusak.
Thank you very much, my only president, NIMechE, former national chairman and former vice president of NSC. So many accolades to you, and we thank you for finding out time to join us today. So special announcement, the NIMechE Aba chapter will be inaugurated on the 25th of this month. On behalf of the chairman and those that will attend, I cordially invite those around that suburb or region to join up. When you see the flyer, you try to be in attendance to witness again another baby born into the NIMechE family. I think we are going there gradually. And like I said, when we have more of us and more of this chapter spreading into the nooks and crannies of the country, we shall be able to speak innovation and engineering and develop the profession in Nigeria. So I thank the presenters who joined up today. Wonderful session, not just academic, but practical. And that shows the wealth of experience that we have in mechanical engineering, not just mechanical engineering, amongst engineers in Nigeria. So we really thank you for finding out time, and we do hope that at the next invite also you will make haste to come back and make this presentation, because we've given you a very welcome atmosphere to make presentation to us. We thank the national chairman for finding out the time to create this program and approve that it should go on today in line with the World Engineering Day. The chapter chairmen that are here present, we really thank you and we appreciate. The deputy national chairman, the vice national chairman in our midst, we thank you for finding out time to attend this program. And do not forget that subsequently in the month of March, we shall have a webinar. We really encourage the chapters to be present so that this message can go down deep. And that is where we shall be able to birth the innovation and engineering that this country should be recognized for. On that note, I can't thank you much, but to invite the Deputy National Chairman, Engineer Halazan, to give us a closing remark.
Hello, good day. Hello?
Oh, someone is trying to speak again, Victor Bonna.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
Victor,
sir.
you have a minute. We are about closing and rounding up. Our time contract is far exceeded. So I give you a minute to speak. After that, the Deputy National Chairman will come speaking to us.
Right.
Okay,
So,
go ahead. A minute.
I'm a mechanical engineering student of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. It has actually come to my observation and to my notice that in Nigeria here, there's limited allocation or there's limited opportunities for engineering students. You know, like will I say, in terms of like competition and things like that, to show off their talent and their skills. And I think this is a driving force in other countries like Japan and others, because in those countries, students are given opportunity to, showcase their talent. And from what they are showcasing, government usually take from those their skills and then implement it on national scale. So this is more of a contribution and a question. So I'm like, if an avenue can be given to engineering students, where they can come together, if it's an annual competition or an annual contest where, students can come in, put heads together and then try to bring up innovations and inventions, I think it's going to be much better. In our schools today, most of the time, they're always bringing, theoretical things such as essay, academics, people that are good at maths, physics. Most of these things are just theoretical stuff. If they can bring, because I'm sure that there are many people here in Nigeria that are good at practical things. They are very, very good at creative thinking, bringing imaginations into reality. So if they can be an avenue, I don't know if this institution can bring that into reality. If they can be an avenue for students, or in short, Nigerians as a whole, to come with their different imaginations and ideas, it can be in form of a competition or whatever. If this can be held, from time to time, I think, like, in terms of technology, Nigeria can be soaring high, because in Japan alone, according to a research I read about, most of these phones they make, most of them are made by their students. They do something like a competition, and then after that, they take the best of the design, and then you see them marketing the designs to all these phone makers.
Okay,
and that's
thank you.
Yeah. So I think if that can be put in place, I think Nigeria can be a little bit, ahead in terms of technology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you must have heard the national chairman speak about the engineering innovation that is done by our students. NIMechE has university units, and annually the students come together and they compete in the engineering innovation. A lot of this project has actually been advertised, and people have been rewarded for meeting up with this kind of engineering presentation. She spoke about the 3D printer, the additive manufacturing, and the rest. So the students are gradually being engaged. There will be much and so many of such interactions and innovative forums. I will encourage the team to please send your email addresses and your cell phone numbers that can be invited to webinar. NIMechE is going in the right direction, and we plan to meet up with as many persons as possible to spread this news of engineering, innovation, and possibly it's not going to be long. Nigeria will be named along those countries that are doing very well in engineering. And we are actually said earlier on that you should rename yourself and your devices so that we can know those that are in this meeting in real name, and we can tie that to the quality of this presentation. So if you've not done that, please quickly make that done before we this meeting today. So thank you, Victor, for that observation. So that we don't take much of our time again. We are about 15 minutes into our timeline if you look at that agenda. Quickly, I want to thank those that have contributed. The questions that have been raised are very, very important if engineering should be best and innovation should actually come to play in Nigeria. So at this note, we invite the Deputy National Chairman, Engineer Hal Azan, to give us a closing remark, a closing word. Thank you. Thereafter, we'll take the national anthem and then the NIMechE anthem. Go ahead, Engineer Mohammed.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
so
afternoon.
I think my one is just going to be a kind of word of thanks on behalf of the institution, the chairman, national chairman, the council, executive, and all members of the institution, and I want to actually appreciate our presenters for this program today, which is to mark the 2023 Engineering Day celebrations. We have listened keenly to the presentations, and we have learned a lot, and they are all thought-provoking. So actually, what we are hoping the speakers next time when we invite them, even though they are still part of us, so they will honor our invitation, and they shouldn't be tired. We'll come on knocking at their doors anytime, so they come and assist us. So for people that have participated, people that have asked questions, made comments, we thank you all. We hope we'll see a lot of us participating more. The attendance is encouraging, but we still want more people to participate in our programs, online programs, and the monthly webinar series that we hold. So thank you very much once again. We appreciate everyone. Thank you.
All right, thank you, team. I think we have just playing the national anthem and NIMechE anthem. On this note, we've come to the end of this presentation today. It's not the end of World Engineering Day. World Engineering Day continues until we meet again on a special date set aside for us to reflect on our promotion of engineering. Thank you, team. Please, your email address and your phone numbers that is on WhatsApp so that we can disseminate more of this information to you. Thank you, team. Thank you, my national chairman. Thank you, deputy national chairman. Thank you, former national chairman who are here with us and the president of NIMechE. Thank you, the presenters. Thank you, the attendees. And thanks to everyone who has made this team and this meeting very rewarding.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
So you can also follow up on Facebook. This presentation was also live while we were making the World Engineering Day. It is also live on our Facebook. Yes, I think it is NIMechE.
Yes, it's live on Facebook. It's live on Facebook.
You can check on NIMechE on Facebook, and then you like the page. You'll be able to see many of these, and you can listen to this presentation once again.